Hello students and welcome back to bankexamstudy.com. My name is Ramandeep Singh and today I'm going to provide you the RBI circulars for the month of January 2021. RBI circulars are very important for your exam, students, let me tell you. RBI circulars are very important. I'm repeating myself. So, teaching the circulars by the means of quizzes is a really effective way of teaching, according to me. I have already taught the circulars in my video course. The link to join the RBI Grade B 2021 course is available in the description. And today we released that RBI Grade B GK Digest for the month of January, in which we do Yojana, Kurukshetra, PIBs, Union Budget, Economic Survey, RBI circulars, current affairs. So it is a compilation of all that important current affairs related to the RBI Grade B. So let's start with the very first question. That is why you are here. Recently, RBI announced Payment Infrastructure Development Fund, which is intended to subsidize the deployment of payment acceptance infrastructure. At the point of sale, whenever you try to make a payment using your debit cards in the restaurants, right? Or such places, there is a machine, right, to subsidize that. Many restaurants are not able to buy that machine. So in some smaller cities, right, which tier of cities we are talking about? In the smaller cities, subsidy is going to be provided. And for that purpose, Payment Infrastructure Development Fund, in which RBI is going to, contribute, and the infrastructure providers, the service providers like Mastercard and Visa, they are going to spend money as well. So, which cities it is targeted at? The Payment Infrastructure Development Fund. It's B, tier 3 to tier 6 cities. With a special attention to northeastern states. With a special attention on northeastern states, I have discussed about that in depth in the class on my course. But this is the most important point. Tier 3 to tier 6 centers, right? This is all about this particular circular. You can go in depth about that particular circular in the it's available on the RBI's official website as well, because I teach from that particular website. What is legal entity identifier? This question was actually asked in that RBI Grade B 2019 exam, I guess. Yeah. Legal entity identifier. It is again, there is a question in that can be framed. There is an update regarding this particular scheme, right? So what is legal entity identifier? See, students, you have a PAN, right? I have a PAN, right? But when we are making international transactions, so let's say suppose somebody does a fraud, right? Somebody is doing a fraud of 1,000 crores, right? And he sent the money to an entity in Philippines or an entity in Thailand. That actually happened when there was an online heist in that Bangladesh National Bank, Central Bank. Please read that. I mean, there are very interesting videos on YouTube regarding the heist in that online heist in that using the Swift codes, right? And the money was sent to Philippines and it was gone, right? They were not able to recover that money. So that is a very interesting case study. Please go through it, okay? So yeah, that is why legal entity identifier, to identify the legal entities. So it is a 20-digit unique numbers to identify the financial the parties to financial institutions worldwide. It is not about India, just about India. Obviously, India is part of it, but it is recognized worldwide. Right, so 20-digit unique numbers would be given to an entity, obviously, right? So that's what it is about. Now RBI has mandated the legal entity identifier system for transactions above what number? So if you are doing transactions above that threshold, you need to get the legal entity identifier, right? You need to get that number similar to PAN. This is the legal entity identifier number. You need to get that. So D is the correct answer. If you are doing the transactions using the banking system, you are doing RTGS of more than 50 crores. If you are doing NEFT of more than 50 crores, you need to get the legal entity identifier. It has been mandated to introduce legal entity identifiers for all payments of value 50 crores and above for the entities undertaken by non-individual entities, right? If you are an individual, that is fine. But if you are a non-individual, if you are a company, then legal entity identifier is required. If you are using the central payment system like RTGS or NEFT, you are making a payment of more than 50 crore, you need to get legal entity identifier, and that is a safeguard. Currently, there are three separate banking ombudsman, right? I hope most of you are already aware of it. One for the non-banking finance company, one for the banks, and the third one. RBI basically is going to, centralize everything, integrate these three banking ombudsmen, right? There are different offices, so RBI is going to integrate that to simplify the processes, right? So to make it easier for the depositors or the customers to go to just one place. So one is for banks, one is for the NBFCs, that the third one is for, obviously it is not for insurance companies or e-commerce or unorganized banking services. So we are talking about non-bank prepaid payment issuers, that are wallets. For wallets, there is separate banking ombudsman. Okay, give me your answers if you want to. And the next question, risk-based internal audit framework, that is really important. A major update, I would say, most important circular in the month, risk-based internal auditor. So as of now, the internal auditors, the banks, the bank branches were hiring third-party internal auditors, right? That I have noticed. They hire third-party internal auditors. Many issues were there. The auditors which were hired from within the organization, their salaries were dependent upon the performance of the branch, so which was not fair, right? The internal auditors that were hired, they didn't have much authority. Scale 1, Scale 2 officers were hired, right? And if the internal auditor was, making he became a whistleblower, if there is any issue, I mean, he was fired, right? So that was the thing. That is why the RBI came up with the recommendations that the head of the internal auditor, he should be senior executive of the bank. He should be senior auditor. So he should have the ability. He should be independent. A clerk or a scale 1 officer, he can't be independent, na. Only at least he should be senior executive. I mean, should be at a good level, right? And he should be appointed for a reasonably long period, preferably a minimum of 3 years. If you are replacing the internal auditor after every year, after 1 or 2 years, that means there is something fishy going on in the branch, right? Why do you need to hire new internal auditors after every 1 or 2 days, 1 or 2 years, right? That is not good. Okay. The HIA shall directly report either to the audit committee of the board, MD or CEO, or the whole-time director, not to the cluster head or the branch manager. Obviously, if you are finding faults in the branch, you should not report to the branch manager, right? That is not fair. You are telling his own mistakes directly to the branch manager or the cluster head. And if the cluster head or the regional head, he's a good friend of branch manager, they have personal relationships, so you can't just report to them. And the internal auditor function should not be outsourced. To make sure it should not be outsourced, if it is outsourced, I mean, if that the external auditor, if he's going against your branch, if he is finding faults, maybe you won't be interested in hiring that internal auditor again. The branch would be more interested in hiring the internal auditor who's giving them favorable reports. So to avoid this, the RBI actually gave all these recommendations. This is a very lengthy, framework, but these are the points which are to be remembered according to me, right? I have taught these points in the course. Please check it. And this class is part of RBI Grade B 2021 crash course, in which I am providing video classes for both phases. There is test series, and it is most updated course on online. Notes are provided in the downloadable format. I'm doing analysis of Yojana, Kurukshetra, PIB analysis, economic survey. Economic survey I'm doing right now. So union budget I have already done. Union budget is done. Economic survey I'm already done. I'm on volume 2. It is done. It's in the process. So you can WhatsApp me with your doubts. The link to the demo is available in the description. Check the demo. So the list of students who cracked RBI Grade B 2019 using our courses: Scale 2, Scale 3, Bank of India, Bank of Maharashtra Grade B 2018, Bank of Baroda, SO Marketing Grade A 2018, NABARD Grade A, Vijay Bank. So all these students that took our courses and they cracked their respective exams, I'm really happy for them. So the next can be you, right? And I hoped you liked the session today. Please subscribe the channel and like this video and share this video with your friends. And that's actually all for today, students. Thank you and have a very